Welcome to Go Home, Grandma.
Jeez, what the fuck, dude? This is you know I'm sensitive to my grandma in this.
Yeah. I think I've been talking about my grandma a lot more.
Probably because you're writing a memoir.
Yeah.
She's on your mind, dude.
I listen to a podcast. Listen, watch, same thing these days.
Eat.
I consume a podcast. I experience a podcast.
Listen to a fucking podcast. Get on with it.
Yep. I absorbed a podcast.
Oh my god!
Called Wife of the Party.
Yeah.
And it's Leanne Kreischer, who is the wife of Bert Kreischer, a comedian, who I've been following for... Actually, I'm not always following what he does because I only listen to his podcasts and then occasionally look at his comedy. She did a podcast where they were, she and her friends were doing they do a book club where they just talk about a book for a podcast. And people follow it and they get the book and they read the book and then they talk about it. Like fans do that. So it's like a nice little thing that she's got going. And this one particular book, which wasn't amazing, but it was a okay book, I guess. I didn't read it, but what they had to say, there was a lot of conflicting understandings of the book. And it's good that they had like conflicting understandings of the book rather than everyone agreeing. One of them was writing a memoir, and she was explaining the difference between a memoir and a biography or something like that. Because I'm not writing a memoir about my grandma, I'm writing a biography. Right, like I've written my own autobiography, but I call it part 1.
Maybe biography is something to be released, while memoir is something for yourself.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe. It's just an idea.
My policy is just do what you want, do what you feel like you want to do.
My policy is listen to dogs bark. Can I tell you something about these guys down here? Something it's very important that you know this.
Okay.
This is like law, basically. There are these really big flukes down here that they're exclusively found in this area. I killed one, and I'm going to try and find... There's one. This enemy is called a fluke mungus.
Okay.
That's it.
Not a humongous?
Humongous what?
Wasn't that a joke? That was like the huge drama.
I have to tell Stephanie to cut this out, but sorry, I had to cut that out. It's a little something to do with the video I'm working on. Okay, don't worry about it. These guys deal 2 hearts of damage because why the fuck wouldn't they? That's what they always do in this game.
Yeah,
when
big things
they add
deal
DLC.
big damage.
So these enemies were added literally just to give for there to be something more substantial for the update for Godhome. This whole area is unique to Godhome, was added in the update, and they were trying to justify it a bit more. And they're like, yeah, we've got these enemies here that you can fight. All right, so this is the junk bit. Remember I was talking about it before? Here we are.
Yeah.
And over here, it's a sarcophagus. And if I use my simple key,
What's that?
this is the god tuna, one of the most useless items
the
in the game.
dead dude that just flopped out.
This is the god seeker, and I'm gonna invade her mind. And by doing that,
The God Seeker.
yes, yes, I love this. This is the best line of dialogue in the game you're about to witness. Blasphemy, rank blasphemy, thou crueler, thou cringer, thou smallest of small. I love that line. By what right does thou trespass here in this home of the gods? Shrivel away and be gone, be gone. Yeah, she's not a big fan of us. She literally calls us. She just curses us out at all times.
Is that because she knows what we are?
I mean, she only cares about gods. Right?
Oh.
Here we are, Godhome.
That just means that she's worse than us.
Listen, this is Pantheon 1. This is Pantheon of the
Boys.
The Master. This is Pantheon 2. This is Pantheon of the Painter, or the Artist, I think it is.
I was going to say
Artist.
Pantheon 2.
This is Pantheon 3. This is Pantheon of the Sage, okay? And every boss that I said, this is a Sage boss, it means all the bosses in this one. For whatever reason, I don't know if it's intentional, and I don't fucking care.
Yep.
It feels like Team Cherry decided to put all of the most time-wasty, annoying bitch bosses in the game in this Pantheon, and I hate it. I think this Pantheon, honestly, is harder than this one over here, which is Pantheon 4, Pantheon of the Night.
Okay.
Yeah, this little guy. Look at him. I'll mind this. Yeah, whatever.
But you couldn't talk to him?
No, they don't want to talk to me because I'm a fucking cringe lord.
Oh.
This is the Hall of Gods.
Why? Because you walk around saying, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
Yep. So these are all the bosses that I fought, okay?
Ah.
And you can come here and you'll see there's the Grozmother. I can refight her. And I can fight the Vengefly King. And I can fight the
Oh yeah, the little man.
what was it? Brooding Morlech. Yeah, little man. There's the False Knight, and I can also fight the harder version.
Yep.
We got Hornet, Massive Moss Charger, and honestly it's going to take a while because there's a lot of bosses, so I'm just going to fly through all of these.
Oh, it activates all of them to
Yep.
pop up.
See, look, boop, 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 boop. There's Great Prince Zoe. Oh, so this right here, I might do this. Check it out. This is a boss that we skipped.
Yep.
So if we continue the ritual, we would have had to fight a harder version of Grim.
Oh.
Nightmare King Grim.
Ooh.
And you know what? Let's give it a go.
Okay.
This is one of the hardest bosses in the game. Let's see if I can do it in one try. I have practiced this boss many a time.
Okay.
So in these arenas, you have the God Seeker sitting over there, and she's just watching you be a little bitch, basically.
Oh.
It's been a little while since I fought him, so I might
She's
die.
the God Seeker, right?
Yeah.
So she's just looking for gods.
Yep.
Because
Seeking them out. Ow.
Because what's the main god that was upset?
Oh, the
god.
Radiance.
The Radiance.
Yeah.
So is she unaware of the Radiance?
She becomes aware.
Oh.
So the thing about this this whole
section.
area
Yeah.
is it's more than just a boss rush, okay?
Yeah.
There is actual lore to this area.
Are they trying to find a real god by getting all the bosses?
Yeah, and basically you can beat the game through this area because eventually you fight the final boss, right? And how can you fight the final boss if technically you haven't fought them in the real game, so they made it canonical. And it's a crazy ending that's really, really, really fucking hard to get, and we won't be seeing it in this playthrough for that reason. But she finds out about the Radiance. Don't you worry about
so
it.
So if you beat all the bosses and then you fight the final boss, then it's even harder.
Kind of.
Alright.
Basically, yeah. By the way, Nightmare King Grim does 2 hearts of damage. You might notice that he's crazy fucking fast.
Yeah.
This is one of those fights that this is actually my favorite fight in the game, I think.
Because he's got the flame, that's why, isn't it?
Also, my Carefree Melody just saved my ass there. It procced. Oh yeah, I didn't explain what the Carefree Melody does. Yeah, it blocks damage. Basically, the way it works is every time you get hit, it raises your chance to block the next hit by 10%. Right? So you start off at like 0, and then like you get hit, then you got a 10% chance to block the next attack. Then you get hit again, but you don't block it, then it's 20%, until eventually it does become 100%. I might die, but that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm just showing you off the boss anyway. Yeah, I don't... I dashed into him. Anyway, that's Nightmare King Grim.
Yeah.
He's a fun boss. He's my favorite boss in the game because it's really fun to learn him. TBH. You get the idea.
Yeah.
I just thought I'd show it to you. This is
Yeah.
what Godhome is. And you beat each one, and you can do all these things. You can put bindings on yourself for some reason. I mean, there is a reason, but it's not a good reason, in my opinion. So, like, with each one of these, you can go in, but like I can put on nail binding, shell, charm, and soul. So nail reduces my damage by like 80%. Shell reduces my health back to 4 hearts. Charms means I can't use any charms, and soul means that I can only use 1 spell at a time. And you can put them all on to die. Which, you know, the most badass crazy people do on Pantheon 5. Basically, each Pantheon goes like this. You fight 10 bosses from the game, or you fight 9 bosses and then a new boss at the very end. 9 bosses, then a new boss, 9 bosses, right? But the thing is, by the time you beat Pantheon 4, you would have fought basically every boss in the game. So what do you do in Pantheon 5? You fight every boss in the game. One after the other. No checkpoints. And that is the one thing in this game I haven't done, because who can be fucked?
Yeah.
Even if you find all the bosses to be super easy, it's still roughly 45 minutes.
Mm.
So let's not say we did. How does
Yeah.
that sound?
Sounds fun to me.
I thought at the very least I should show off Godhome.
Alright.
Also, the more Pantheons you do, she wakes up a bit more.
Oh.
It's because she's not dead, believe it or not.
No, she's asleep. She's.
Yeah. She came to this land seeking gods, right? Because she once was in the land of storms, rain and storms or something,
Mhm.
and their gods forsaken them somehow. Presumably, I think they died.
Oh, the god died.
Yeah, you can go there for a memory. It's weird. I'm not going to go into it much, but so they came seeking a new god, one that was worthy of being worshipped by them, right?
Oh.
She's harboring all these other little guys inside of her mind. You saw them before, the guy looking out at the lake and shit. And they came here because the Pale King, the king who was dead, his godly aura was so strong that they were like, "Yo, let's go to Hallownest."
Yeah.
And the whole idea of Godhome is that they're attuning themselves, that's what the God Tuner is, to all the bosses in the game to try and find their new god, right?
Yeah.
And basically you're defeating all of them to be like, I'm your new god, dumbass.
So if they like, we're looking for a god that's worthy of us worshipping, it's like, why do you even need a god if you're that beyond your current god?
They're not beyond their current god. Their current god forsaken them or died or whatever.
Hmm.
They're just elitists.
I thought the idea of a god was that a god doesn't die.
Not necessarily. Gods die all the time in like Greek mythology and whatever.
Hmm.
I don't know of Greek particularly, but you know, Norse. I don't know. The god you're thinking of the Christian god.
No, even Greek, the Greek gods. I
I'm
think
sure
of
that
them
there's
as
some level
infinite.
of like, well, they're immortal, but like there are stories of them dying or whatever. They're bugs, you know. What kind of the gods that you see, the gods of thunder and lightning and whatever, they're just giant bugs.
Yeah.
That's what they look like, at least. I mean, it's all implicative. You have to kind of figure it out and piece it together yourself, as is with all the lore in this game. You know, it's one of those games. Okay, but I'm going to tell you something. Next time, we're going to go finish the game. All right? One last episode. Are you excited?
Yeah.
Get more excited, bitch.
Okay.